so I can't hear you. Well, this is quite an exciting time to be in this space right now with everything that's going on in the cryptocurrency space. It is amazing the profits that are being made with just putting in pretty much a little bit of cash. You really can increase that money like exponentially. So that is a really great thing. I told Travis that I did, I know how important the time is and stuff, so I didn't want to take a long time. He said he just wanted us to kind of give a few points on what cryptocurrency is, Bitcoin, the blockchain. So I was going to just talk about a little bit of that. And if you guys had any questions, I could possibly try to answer them. One good thing about this is if you guys sign up for IML, whoever sent you to this call or told you to log on to this call, you will have access to me completely. Any questions you might have about cryptocurrencies, you're welcome to give me a call, text me, or whatever, and we'll get those questions answered for you. This the Elite Fortune Group is just one big happy family. So so definitely, and IML has a new product that I'm going to let Travis tell you all about when I'm finished. But it's a whole cryptocurrency. They just introduced like a educational platform for that, which is very exciting. That they have just kicked off. So so that's great. So hopefully you guys would, if you're not in iMarkets Live right now, this is a great time to join and get in. But so I'm going to start off with kind of like the basics. So so the basics, what is Bitcoin? Everybody wants to know what is Bitcoin these days. Everybody's talking about it, but a lot of people may not quite understand what it is. So Bitcoin is basically just a digital form of cash. It's digital cash. So it's a way that you can pretty much pay for stuff, and it's a peer-to-peer transaction, meaning that like if I wanted to send Travis some money or give Travis some money, there won't be any middle man involved at all. So basically, I would just send the money from my wallet, my digital wallet, directly to his, without any banks being involved or anything like that. So that's really kind of the big deal these days with the bankers, because they've been making so many millions and trillions and zillions of dollars off of us for all of these years. And that's just the way the system has been set up. And Bitcoin is actually disrupting that system in a huge way. So so yeah, they're trying to figure out how they can tax it or control it or whatever. But really, since it is decentralized, which just means there's no one entity that is controlling it. It's ran pretty much all around the world. So as Travis mentioned, I mine. I have computer rigs here mining cryptocurrencies. So what happens with that is my computer rigs help the transactions go through on the network, and that could be done while my computer is doing it. There's also 1,000 other computers around the world that are verifying that one transaction. So if I sent money to Travis, it's going to be verified by so many different computers all around the world. And so if I were to get shut down, so if the government came in and just shut my computers down, that wouldn't stop it. So the transaction would just be verified from Hong Kong or Japan or from someone else's computer. So you have like small level investors such as myself that's doing it at home, but then you have like major mining farms, and they might have like 10,000 computers in like a warehouse, and they'll just be mining Bitcoin. So a lot of transactions will be happening from that one location, but then there's miners all around the world that the transaction may go through. And another thing, like I don't know exactly what transactions my computers are mining. I mean, I don't know what transaction it is. So just because I sent the money to Travis, my computers probably won't be mining that transaction, or they won't be helping that transaction go through. It could be any one of, thousands and thousands of computers that do that. So that is what makes it decentralized. So one computer being shut down, or even 10 computers, or even 100, won't stop the network from going. So that is one big thing about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin runs on a blockchain. Let's see, and I kind of jotted down a note for blockchain. So the blockchain uses a form of math called cryptography to ensure that the records of each transaction can't be counterfeited by anyone. So the blockchain is a ledger pretty much, and it records every transaction that goes on. And in this ledger can actually be read by each computer, each miner. So my computers all around the world, everybody works on this blockchain, and everybody sees the same exact information, and it verifies it. So that being said, I couldn't change one thing on that ledger without it being caught by somewhere else. Another computer would see it and say, "Oh, that transaction is invalid. It's not identical to what everybody else is saying." So that's what makes it very secure. So that's why a lot of businesses and corporations are probably, some of them already are switching over. They're putting all of their business onto the blockchain, and they're coming up with a way. They're trying to switch their whole business over to that, since it's so secure and all of that. So that's the blockchain. And Bitcoin was the first application that was ran on this blockchain. So the blockchain was created, which is a ledger of all transactions, or which is a place that a ledger that the transactions can be recorded. So that was made, and then they created Bitcoin to run on this blockchain. And Bitcoin, of course, is the digital way of making payments. And if you haven't bought any Bitcoin yet, I would definitely suggest getting some. Bitcoin was around it was around $2,000 back in May when I got in, which is when I first bought Bitcoin. And by the end of the year, Bitcoin was like at 17,000. So it didn't just double, it didn't triple, it didn't quadruple. It soared. So yeah, that's that pretty much. There's one more thing I wanted to tell you guys. So there's Bitcoin, which was the first digital currency that was created, maybe around 8 years ago, back in 2009, 2010. So maybe about nine years ago. So then they also created these other coins, and they're called altcoins. And altcoins really is just any other coin that is not Bitcoin. It's altcoin or alternative coins to Bitcoin, and they're also digital cash. So it's just another. I like to call the altcoins kind of like like the 2.0 upgrade for Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin was created, it they had kind of some issues with that. Well, they're having more issues with it now with well, if you send a payment, it's kind of getting expensive. It's kind of getting slow. So these other altcoins have kind of made those payment transactions or the process a little quicker, a little easier, and cheaper. So it's kind of like 2.0 of Bitcoin. So that's pretty much all I want to say. And also, I want to say, like, I'll just reiterate any questions that you might have about Bitcoin. If you're interested in like mining or something like that, I'm definitely open to talking to anybody about it. I love cryptocurrencies. I'm doing it all day, every day. So, yeah, any knowledge that I may have, I'll definitely be willing to share it with you guys. But I'm going to turn it back over to Travis right now and let him actually talk about what iMarkets Live is offering now as far as the cryptocurrency education platform that they just started. They just launched last night. So Travis, if you're still on, come on and let everybody know about that.
Yeah, Dion, before we get in that, someone had a question. They want to know what's the return on investment for mining Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't see that question. Well, I'll tell you mine, and everybody probably you're gonna see a bunch of, so there's all different returns. It just depends on what time you bought it at, what Bitcoin is at that time, because it changes and the equipment goes up. So for instance, when I bought my rigs, I think I probably spent about $5,000, and I bought 3 of them. May have been just a little bit more than 5,000. But since then, to get your rigs, the one rig is costing $4,000 to $6,000. So it's changed so much. So my return, it took me 3 months, around 3 months to get my money back. And then now, every month, pretty much I'm getting $2,000 for of return on that. So it paid itself off in 3 months. And then pretty much every 3 days I get about $245 or $250 loaded to my digital wallet. So yeah, so
And how many rigs do you have, Dion?
I have 3.
Right, 3 rigs. We have another question. Can you use a mining app for Bitcoin? Is that recommended or even safe?
Well, so the mining apps, I'm not totally familiar with those. I have seen some stuff online about it, and basically, you're going to be mining whatever that app is. Like I think they have a game that they released, and then through this game you can actually mine for an alternative coin, an altcoin, what I was telling you guys about. And I can't really say that I know much about that because I don't, but I'm sure it would be safe. And if it's free money, the way I look at it, if they're giving away free money just for you to run this app on your phone, I would say that do it. That's so that's what I say about that.
Absolutely. All right. I like the questions, guys. If you guys have, all right, hold on. What's your take on BitConnect and lending wallets?
Okay.
Reinvesting.
Okay, so the BitConnect, I did not get into that. I've gotten into a couple of other ones that have not panned out so well. So I was in one called Questra. So in the guess the symbols for that is AGAM. So it's Atlantic Global. So I was in that, and I'm still in that. But about a month ago, they closed. Well, they said that they were selling the business. And anyway, long story short, they were stopping all payments out. So for like 4 months. So I guess we're in a month and a half. So there's maybe 2 to 2.5 more months left before we're going to hear something about it. And so I didn't have good luck with that. So I was in another one also, which is called USI Tech. And USI Tech, that was going really well until just a couple of days ago, where they said that they were ceasing and they were stopping their business in the United States and Canada. So I didn't get into BitConnect. There have been people that have made money. I think it all boils down to when you get in. If you get into these things kind of like in the beginning, you can possibly get some money out of it. But I think if you're coming in toward the end, which nobody knows the end of the cycle other than the company, because they're behind the scenes, I think that you could kind of get caught up, kind of like what's going on with me right now with those 2 investments that I did. So I'm kind of just sitting around, and I'm going to see what the outcome is going to be. So that's what I have to say about that.
All right. Well, we don't have any more questions for right now. I appreciate that, Dion. If you guys come up with any more crypto questions, please just put them in the box, and we'll work to get those answered for you while we're on this webinar. Now, I want to get over to the good side of it. Now, IML is a service, a product that provides us education on how to learn how to trade foreign currency as well as cryptocurrency. So a lot of people who are in the crypto market right now, they're actually treating it like the stock market. So they're trying to get in low and sell high. But the problem is with this method is, one, they don't understand the market. This market moves the exact same way that the foreign exchange market moves. So that's why IML has used their software to also teach us how to trade this cryptocurrency. Now, the beauty with us trading crypto, we don't have to own it. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the market crashing. We don't have to worry about the market excelling. You know, regardless of what the market's going to do, we're going to make money out of it. So if it does crash down one day, we could be in for that sell trade and make a ton of money. And when I say crash, I don't mean that it's going to disappear and wipe out. Just like 2008, we had the housing market crash. Well, before cryptocurrency, a lot of people made a lot of money in 2008 off the housing market crash. They made money because they knew how to trade, and they seen that price was too high and it was going to get ready to come down. So that's why it's so important for everyone to learn how to trade money, not own it. So once again, I said IML, they just introduced cryptocurrency tools and software to us last night that they're going to be giving us access to that will alert us to trades. But I just want to show you guys the importance of trading right here. So I actually did this chart with some friends a couple days ago, and we actually got in right here. So this is the beauty of creating charts. Now, you see, this was Ripple, okay, XRP versus BTC. So that means that I'm doing Ripple versus Bitcoin. And this is the price of it over here. Let me move this. All right. This is your price right here. The green line is what it is currently at. Well, based off my Forex education that taught me how to trade, it pretty much told me if it crosses over the 61.8 line, it's going to run. And as you can see, it crossed over the 61.8. It closed. So when I say it closed, where's my zone? There we go. You see, this is my 61.8 line right here. It closed over top of my 61.8 line. That means that it has to take off after that, right? So that's what it did. We got into this trade right here, and it took off all the way up to where it was supposed to go to, which is right there. Once it hit, it came back down just like it was supposed to. Now, I know I'm doing this and making it look easy because I've studied it, but I promise you guys, it is that easy. You just need the education, right? So as you can see, it's hitting this to a T. It came back down. It hit this market to a T. Now, I didn't create these marks. I looked past previous time, and they gave me the marks, right? So according to this, this was a mark over here. Then I drew this from here to up here, and that's a Fibonacci number. So based off Fibonacci, that means this has to happen. Now, why is this so important? I am going to show you guys how much money this was from there to there. All right. Now, from there to there, all the way up to the top, you guys see that 6,735? All right. That is pips. And if you haven't heard me say anything about pips from Forex, this is how many pips we would have gained right here, 6,735. Now, I want to pull up this my Forex webinar so I can show you pips. I can get here. All right. Now, the beauty about pips is this is what we use to trade. We use the pip number once we get the calculation, and then we multiply it by our lot size, and that tells us how much money that we made off of that trade. I'm working off my internet on my cell phone because my house internet is raggedy. Verizon be lying to me. Nothing's fire speed about this. All right. So I do encourage you guys while this is loading, if you guys came to this meeting because of me or another EFG member, reach out to them and ask them about this market and how you can get involved. So like I said, we calculate off pips. We have 3 different lot sizes, a micro lot, a mini lot, and a standard lot. When you enter these lots in, that is how you enter your trade. So if I wanted to get into a trade with 10 cents per pip, I would put in a 0.01, okay? For a mini lot would be 0.10, standard lot would be 1.0. Now, if I was to go 0.60, that means that I'm doing $6 per pip. All right. Now, I did this based off of a foreign exchange rate. So when we did the calculation, we had a -3 pip risk. We multiplied that by $6, and that means that we were risking $18 to gain either 102, 174, or 294. You choose these profits yourself. And all we did was chose the profits based off our Fibonacci, right? So the same way that I'm doing that with Forex, I do this over here in the cryptocurrency market. This is take profit 1. This is take profit 2. This is take profit 3. Now, as you can see, if I would have got take profit 3, that would have been 6,735 pips. I'm looking on a 1-hour chart. So this literally took, when we got in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This took 22 hours for this to happen. Now, if you just put in 10 cents per pip, all right, well, we already know that would be 673.50, what you would have got at 10 cents per pip. Now, just imagine if you put $2 per pip and you multiply that by 6,735. You made $13,000 in a day before you have to go do anything. So if you guys know me, I have completely quit everything else that I do. This is all I do because of the opportunity to make $13,000. Now, I'm sure you have friends that have purchased Bitcoin, they purchased Ripple. I'm not saying don't purchase it. What I'm telling you to do is learn how to trade it. Because imagine if you take this 13,000 right there and you go purchase other altcoins, like Dion was stating. Now you have $13,000 to go buy altcoins, and you could diversify your altcoins now. And now you're going to wait for that one to explode. In the meantime, we're still trading over here. So this is just one trade that we put in. We could have 10 of these trades set up. I think I looked at TRX. We put a trade in on this one. All right. Now, I told them the same thing when we got to this one. I told them when it hit our line right here, it was going to come back down. You see, it's been doing nothing but coming down, just like I stated to them. But if you guys don't understand how this price is moving, you're not even going to know when to buy the coin at the right time. So a lot of people are buying their coins when it's right up here to the highest of the highest. Like a lot of people purchased Bitcoin when it was at $19,000. But if they knew how to trade, they would have seen that it was at its peak and it had to come back down to recheck itself. That's just how money moves. It's a known fact that it's got to happen like this, right? But everybody don't know how to trade, and they just jumped into it because it was something that was trending, when they could have just waited for it to come back to recorrect itself. So it was going to come back down to 11,000 just like it did. We knew that was going to happen. We seen that happen. But the outside people who are jumping into this world, they don't know about this. They can't see this. So this is why I'm hoping and working with everybody to educate you on learning to trade this stuff. Even if you don't trade, it's good to know this because you want to buy it at the right time. If you wanted to treat it like the stock market. You know, yes, you can make tons of money if you buy in at 20 cents. And just so you guys can see, I'm not joking about me in this business. Like, this is all I do is I trade my money. I have a account with every exchange that you could think of. I have an offline wallet. Like I stated, Dion put me on with this, and I haven't looked back since he introduced me to it. I think I surprised him when I gave him a call and told him how much I made one day. He was like, "Oh, you really dove into it." So I'm not playing around. So I'm going to log into some of my exchange accounts so you guys can actually see what they look like. And you will notice this same pattern that's right here is the same pattern that's over here. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to tune into. All right. Told you guys I'm still working on my cell phone, so it's taking a little time. All right, so somebody my wallet did something funky the other day, so I disabled my account. But as you can see, I have 11,000 in here that I've been trading. I have Ripple, Steam, BAT, Pay, Ethereum, Lumen, and of course Bitcoin. But once again, you have to know when to enter these at the right time. Because if I go here, as you can see with Lumen, if you don't know how to read charts, you wouldn't understand that this is about to come back down again soon. You know? But if you don't know how to read that, you wouldn't see that it's going to come down soon. And you would buy in up here. And it's going to come back down around here and then come back up. That's why it's important to understand this information. I mean, we could even take a look at Ripple, which everybody is gung-ho over right now. All right, so see, The other day, literally everybody bought Ripple when it was coming up right here. And I know tons of people who got into Ripple when it was at $2.90, $3 and plus, right? But they didn't just see that it was going to hit its peak at some point and come back to recorrect itself. This is the same exact stuff that happens in the foreign exchange market. Once you learn how to trade one currency, you can trade all the currencies. And it's so much more lucrative to trade these currencies than to own them. It's quick money. All right, if you keep trading and trading and the numbers increase, how do you get that money into your pocket? All right, so when you go to trade, you're going to set up triggers. Remember I said your take profit 1, take profit 2? All right, so these are triggers right here. As I'm looking at this chart, so let's say, let me go back to Ripple. Oops. Please, if you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the box so I can see them. Come on. All right, I guess it don't want to act up. All right, there we go. All right. Guess my chart didn't pop back up. All right, so remember I said I got in around here on my chart, all right? And I got in around here because it was based off this right here. I said that it came, it hit this spot right here, and that was a Fibonacci spot. So I said once it closes over top of it, this is where I want to get in at. Well, it didn't get there yet. It was about right here when I looked at that. So all I would do is put a trigger into my cell phone. And once again, we do trade all of this off the cell phone. So I use my computer to mark my charts, and then I pull my cell phone out to actually put the trade in. But I put the trade in, and I said, I want to get into this trade, all right, at when it reaches 16422. Now, mind you, it was only back here. So so let's say we were looking at it like this, all right? I told it to put me in a trade right where this green line is, but as you can see, it hadn't gotten up there yet. So once it does get up there, I put that trigger in and say, hey, put me in this trade, and now we're ready to go. I want to put a buy trade in because I think price is going to keep going up. Now, if I think price is going to go down, I could put a sell trade in. But based off my studies and my information, it said that price is supposed to go up if it crossed over that 61.8 and closed. And it did. So that means put me in for a buy. Now, when I put me in for a buy, I'm going to say that I think price, this is where I got out at right here. I said, I think price is going to get right here, 21930. If it gets there, I want you to take me out of the trade. I want you to close it, let me get my money, and I live to see another day. But if it just so happened that it didn't go the way that I think, I'll put my stop loss like right here. So it says, if it got up to here, it entered me into the trade, and if for some reason it didn't do what I think and it dropped back down, it would kick me out of the trade. I would lose that money. Just like I wrote right here. That would be, I would have calculated that pips. So from there to there, I risked 1,400 pips. So I was risking 1,400 pips to gain 56.29. So that's the process that you have to go through, and that's your account, right? So maybe you can't do what I do because you don't have as large of an account. But as long as you're doing 3% max of your account, you will always win. It's all about risk management. What happens is I'll start teaching people, and they'll start learning this, and we'll make one trade. You'll make $600-700. After you make that $600-700, you feel like you got it, and you lose the rules that I've taught you about 3% max. So we do 3% max per trade. Okay. So just imagine this. This trade right here is 5,629 pips, right? And I told you I'm risking 1,200 pips. If I do that for 10 trades, if 7 of them go bad, the 3 that go good will make me more money than the 7 that went bad did. But what happens is people go over 3% of their account, and they'll start trading 18% of their account on one trade. Well, if that trade goes bad, you just lost 18% of your money. So yes, then you start hearing people talking about it doesn't work. It's a scam. It's a scam because you didn't listen. But if you stick to the process and understand risk management, there's no way to lose. Majority of the time, should I say. All right. So like I was stating, we could do this for every altcoin that you could think of. It doesn't matter which coin it is. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin. Like I can trade Bitcoin versus the US dollar. If it pulls up, I think I might have, I have this chart marked up too. So hopefully the markings will pop up so you can see this stuff. I've already marked it and it's still sticking true. All I have to do is not pulling back up. But as you can see, if we took this same information, all right, and all I would do is look through past time. So I would simply sit right here, mark my chart up. All right, I see that it hit right there. I see that it hit right here. All right, I will put my marks there. All right, I got another one there. And I have another one here. So now I can trade within these zones, but then to make it even better, and I've learned this information, guys, so don't just think that it's really this easy. It is this easy if you are willing to put forth the effort to learn it. All right. So now if I wanted to trade this, I would just simply trade off of what I have right here. I'm working off previous data. All I did was went back to what it's been doing before. What did I tell you? A 61.8 is a major reversal number. All right. Now remember, this is a zone. It's not really that straight line. It's in this zone. So as you can see, this came and hit this zone to the pip and shot back up. Based off Fibonacci, it says if it hits this zone, it'll jump back up. And what did I say? If it closes over this number, it'll keep going. As you can see, it closed over 61.8. It kept going to the top, hit, came down, and now it's testing one of our resistance lines. And this is how we trade it. So even if I took this and I stuck to my method, I said if it closes over top of this number, get in for a buy. Holy shit. I mean, shoot. That's 316,000 pips. If you just had 10 cents per pip on that trade, we would I don't even know what that number. Well, let's do 20. I like to do 20 cents. So let's say we had 20 cents per pip. We'd multiply that by 316,129. As you can see, that's $63,000 that you could have got. We're on a 1 hour chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You literally could have got $63,000 with 20 cents per pip in 2 days. And this is why I'm telling you, it's so much more lucrative to trade this shit than to own it. Now, I'm not saying don't own it because you want to have some support behind you, right? You want to diversify your portfolio. But just imagine if you win 63,000, don't you think you could go buy a whole lot more coins? And this is what we have to get in the mindset of doing. If you guys have any more questions for me, please let me know. If you guys are interested in joining our team, like I said, I've created a group of traders, Elite Fortune Group. When you do join our team, you'll have access to myself and Dion as well to talk about different coins to purchase or to buy. You see this bad boy going back up? It's going to go back up to at least this line again. So this should go up. Well, it should go up to 236, the Fibonacci number, and come back down. But that's just because I know trading. So what I'm saying is, if you guys decide to join this, if you got invited out here by another member from my Elite Fortune Group, please reach out to them. What's the least amount of money you can start with your account? Okay, so the least amount of money that you could start with, it really goes off of you. The crypto market is a little more volatile. So, you know, I wouldn't get into the crypto, trading certain coins unless you have at least $1,000 account. And I say that because, as you can see, I'm gaining 316,000 pips, right? So you also have to take in consideration if you lose. So let's say if we got in right here, we wanted to get in right here, you see that one little notch, that's 3,000 pips already. So you got to have an account that can cover that amount of money, But this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most expensive one, so you need to have that type of account. If we were trading, trying to think of what a cheaper one. Let's go back to Ripple. Now, what I do advise is, because you're going to get this software, and at first it started out as teaching how to trade Forex, the foreign exchange market. I would advise you to do that first, so you can understand how to trade, all right? And the market won't burn you as much as this market can. And where I'm not expecting it to burn anybody, but it's always that possibility there. You have a risk with everything. So if you want to trade cryptocurrency, you want to have at least $1,000, $1,500 account. If you want to trade foreign exchange, you can start that with $50. We actually have in our group that we're working $50 to $10,000 in 60 days. We just had another one of IML's expert traders. He's doing a challenge of $200 to 20,000 or something like that. Is Tavis on the line? I forget what that challenge was, but it's something like $200 to $20,000 in 30 days. So that's just another market. But I would advise you to trade that market first so you can understand what is going on. So if we look right here at Ripple, she moves quick too. So as you can see, you need to be able to risk this, right? So if you want to, this is a 1 hour chart too. Let me go down a little more. So this is the chart time. If I was looking on a 1 hour chart just a minute ago, right? So that means that every candle took 1 hour to make. This is a 3-minute chart. That means each one of these candles take 3 minutes to make. So if I'm trading the 3-minute chart, for that little gap right there of a risk, I got to be able to risk 4,600 pips. So if I'm doing 4,600 pips at 10 cents a pip, I got to have $460 in my account that I'm willing to risk minimum. Well, actually, you need about $490. So you need to have about $490 in your account just to take this risk. But once again, if you study it, the risk isn't that big. All right. That was a risk of somebody who really didn't study it. I personally only take about a 300 pip risk when it comes to cryptocurrency. When it goes to the foreign exchange market, I'm only taking about a 20 pip risk. And that's why I love the foreign exchange as well. It's a great learning part. How volatile is Forex? It depends. So with the foreign exchange market, it's open. So the cryptocurrency market is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It don't close for nobody. The foreign exchange market is open 5 days a week, 5.5 days a week. It closes Friday at 5. It opens up Sunday at 5, right? So a lot of traders like to trade at 2 in the morning during the London session. That's when a lot of money is made during that London session at 2 a.m. and all the way into the U.S. market at 8 a.m. when we open up. So a lot of traders are going to trade between the hours of 2 a.m. to about 11 a.m. After that, it's lunchtime. The market slows down a little bit, but I'm not going to say you still can't make money. It still moves. It's not as lucrative. But myself, I trade off 1-day charts, right? So if I'm trading off a 1-day chart, I'm expecting it to take about 2 weeks to make. But 2 weeks in foreign exchange is for about 1,200, 1,500 pips. Now, mind you, I told you I'm talking cryptocurrency. As you can see, we could do 1,200 pips in a matter of minutes. That's why it's so risky, but it's so lucrative at the same time. And you have to educate yourself before you start trading in this market. Even if you don't trade in this market, right, in the crypto market, the education that we're going to teach you about trading, this is how you would buy your coins. Because I told you don't want to buy your coins high. You want to buy them low because we're treating it like the stock market. But if you don't know that it's about to come down because you've never been educated on how price goes up and down, you're going to end up being a person that bought Bitcoin at $19,000 and now you're holding and begging and praying that it's going to come back to 19K. I'm like, Forex, are there better days, hours to trade crypto? No, the crypto market, I don't know when the best time to trade this thing is. It moves whenever it wants, however it wants. So that part will be on you. Dion, if you're still on the line, I don't know, is it a better time to trade crypto? I haven't experienced a better time. Whenever you want to trade crypto, it's alive and active.
No, Travis, there's no time. It does what it wants to. Even at night, yeah, it'll go up at night. Some days you wake up, it's up. Some days you wake up, it's down, and then it might not do anything for a couple of days, and then in the middle of the day, it'll go up. So, yeah, there's no particular time for that. It's just any time.
And see, that's why it's so important that you guys actually have these triggers set up, right? Because especially in the crypto market, if you don't have these triggers set up and you put a trade in and go to sleep, it could literally drop tens of thousands of pips on you. And if you don't have that trigger in place, like you could potentially lose a lot of money. I'll say that because I've done it. And I've done it because I'm a day trader, so I sit at my computer all day and trade. Everybody does not have to be a day trader, which I wouldn't advise everybody to be a day trader, because you might make mistakes like I did. So what happened is somebody came to my house, I looked away for about 10 minutes and forgot all about it, and before you know it, I lost a lot of money, but I learned from that. So this is my other account, Binance. As you can see, I got Tron, Time New Bank, POE, IOTA, Yo-Yo, XBG, XRP, Strat, Dash, and of course, Bitcoin. But I bought all of these coins off house money. And I literally bought all of these coins within the last 4 or 5 months. So if we learn how to trade together, right, we'll learn how to get into the right coins at the right time together. When everybody moves as a mass, that's when the coins start moving. Like they dropped the announcement that Ripple wasn't coming on Coinbase. It dropped the price down. So the news makes these things happen, but if you weren't charting that, you wouldn't even know that it's happening. Even with the Forex, and I'm sure they'll eventually start a crypto factory like this. But with Forex, we use our technical skills, like I drew up that Fibonacci. My group, a person in my group told us one day, we have some of our traders on here, they can verify that. This one guy in my trading group, the Elite Forger group named Shaka, he looks at data a lot. He wants to know about the news that comes out and how's it going to interrupt price. So I do technical. He literally woke up one day and he said at 8 o'clock, watch the news, and watch the USD Canadian dollar at 8 o'clock. No, he said 8:30 the news was going to come out. Make sure you are taking a look at it. I told him I've been looking at it. I showed him my chart and said that I have it in for a sale that's coming up. Well, as soon as the news hit at 8:30, it literally dropped down and got me $2,000. And before 8:35, I had $2,000 processed in my account, and I was done for the day. That's how we have to operate. Right. I've made $4,300 while I was asleep. So far in total, I've been trading right now for a little over 7.5 months. I've made over $43,000. And I don't do anything. Like, if you guys follow me, I'm having the best time of my life. I have time to do whatever I want. Although I'm doing more to help teach you guys, this is why I'm doing it, because I want us all to do this. I want us all to make as much money as we possibly can. But just to give you an overview of the software, the IML software, like I said, they're going to give you crypto education, actual live education. Plus, you're going to be in my group with our traders. Where is the price? Now, I don't have the crypto information on here yet as far as what you get in the package, because they literally just told us last night on a conference call. But if you get the Platinum Plus package, that's what I tell everybody to get. You'll get everything as far as all the tools that they're going to give us in crypto. They told us that they're going to give us a web analyzer for crypto. And this is the web analyzer. And I use the web analyzer for Forex, so I can't wait till it comes out in crypto. The web analyzer literally will tell you potential buys, potential sales. So, of course, in crypto, they're going to tell you which altcoin. They're going to give you a stop loss and take profit. But you don't know what this information is right here, these Bollinger Bands. But this is a signal. It says if it touches right here at the bottom, it's got to go back up. And as you can see, it did. All right. So it's good to learn this and understand which each tool means. As the group as a whole, we do use all the tools. So if you wanted to get in, it would be $235 for the first month, and then $185 every month after that for the Platinum Plus package, which is going to give you everything that you need. To get in and learn how to trade, which I always advise, you just won't have the same tools that will alert you to trade. But like I said, you're going to be in my group, so we actually post trades in the group. But you could do this for $195 for the first month, and then $145 every month after that. Now, me personally, when I signed up for this, I just wanted to learn how to trade. And I understood that I could make more than $185 in trading. I've paid my whole trading off. This whole package I've paid off for the entire year already, because I made that money in one trade. They paid it off for a year. So yes, that's possible. The other possible beauty of this is, even if you don't, as you're learning how to trade, you don't want to pay for this anymore, you just invite 2 people out. Invite 2 people to one of our conference calls. So once again, you're in my group. We do the selling for you. All you have to do is invite people to these events. Like I'm doing this webinar. We do live events. It's about 7 or 8 of us on the team that actually sell this software. So that is an option. If you want to sell the software later on, I wouldn't advise you to do it now because you don't know it. I'll come to you and ask you if you want to sell it. But if you just want to learn how to trade, this is the best thing for you to do. It's going to give you the structure that you need to learn how to trade, and it's going to help you become more of a precise crypto buyer when you go buy those coins, because you're going to understand how that coin is moving and how price should come back down before you buy it, right? So those are your 2 options to get in. We have a couple events. We have another event coming up on the 30th. It'll be in DC. If you guys want to come out to that, I'll keep you updated. Every week We have webinars for the team, as well as different trading. We call them trade houses. So we're about to start our trade houses up. I see a couple of our traders are on the line. But other than that, we're rolling in the group. It's called the Elite Fortune Group. I hope that you guys will join the team. If not, best of luck of trading and buying your coins, because you can still make money. I'm not saying that you have to get into the software, but the software will make you a better trader, and you'll know what's going on in the world. If you have any other questions, contact me. If not, love you all. Enjoy the game. Roll Tide.